Hi, Riley Elementary students. I hope you're all doing well. It's time for our favorite part of the week, our lesson. Woohoo! Get out those notebooks. Okay. While you're getting out those notebooks, I tried to get my cat to be with us today, and he was like not having it. He even bit me a couple of times. So I'm like, fine, Louie, maybe another time you'll get to meet the kids. Or I guess I should say they get to meet you because I can't see you, but you can see me. So, okay, here we go. We are actually on Unit 6, Lesson 3. So let's hope my pen works well this time. Wow, it's looking great. It's going to be a great day. All right, here we go. So we're going to be talking about main idea details, and this is something I don't think we've gone over for a while. So I want to make sure that you listen up and you're taking notes, okay? Let's start with this note. First off, the main idea, okay? This in the story is what it's mostly talking about, okay? It's the most important idea in that story. It's the biggest idea. Okay, so let's put that most important. And I'm going to say slash what the story is mostly about. Okay. That why, but I think you get my idea. Okay. Mostly. So that's a little bit different than theme. Remember when I was saying back of theme, I was like, please don't confuse these two. Don't confuse theme and main idea. Theme is the lesson learned. It's the message. It's what the author's trying to teach you. Main idea, what we're going over this week, is a little bit different, okay? It's what it's mostly about. It's most important idea. You don't have to figure out anything really from the main idea. It's pretty much given to you. You may have to reword it a little bit, but it's right there in the story. It's not something that you have to come up with on your own. Like theme, you would have to come up with something on your own for that, right? But main idea, it's just what it's mostly talking about. What is the author trying to get you to do, or what is the author trying to tell you about? Something like that, okay? So let's move on to then details. Now, details and main idea are like glue. They're stuck together like glue, right? They're kind of like almost married. You really don't have many main ideas without any details. And then the details always have something to support, which is your main idea. So they're like best friends. They're like magnets. They love each other, okay? Main idea and details. So let me give myself a little bit more room to write. Now, details, I mean, it's not hard. Details, what they do is they support the main idea, okay? Support the main idea. These details, they answer a lot of questions. Like they'll give you information about whatever it's talking about. I'm going to even put that. That's good. It gives information, okay? Facts, figures, statistics, okay? Anything that's going to like support that overall idea of whatever the author's trying to get across to you, okay? So, and a lot of times in our writing, we have main idea and details. Sometimes in writing, we don't always say it, but that's really all it is, okay? So, like, for example, when you have an opinion paper and you're writing something, your opinion is the main idea of that paper. That's your opinion, and it's your main idea. those reasons and evidence, reason, evidence, reason, evidence, those are all details that support that main idea. Okay, we just call them a little different things when we're talking about in writing, but it's the same concept. Your main idea, what you're mostly talking about, and then whatever is supporting that main idea. And it's typically when you're writing an opinion paper, it's your opinion, right? Okay, so let's move on. I want you to think of, are you ready for this? Okay, I want you to think of a stool, okay? And let's just make one little thing clear before I start doing this. I am not an art teacher. I don't claim to be an art teacher. I love the art. I love art. I love looking at art. I love appreciating art. I am not an art teacher. Let's just make that clear. Okay, so remember that. I'm going to do the best I can. Okay, so if we have a stool, we have like the circle where our butt goes, right? The seat part. And then we have what? We have legs that support it. Okay. Remember, I'm not a art teacher. I've never claimed to be. If you squint your eyes, tilt your head, it might look like a stool. Okay, just go with me. All right, just let's go with it. So this stool, the main idea of the stool is to sit on it, right? The main idea, so would be right here, right? Sorry, when I write, my computer screen shakes and I feel like it's shaking in my video. Okay, so, but what supports that part that you sit on? Well, the legs, right? If you didn't have the legs, you wouldn't have a stool. If you didn't have the main idea, the sitting part, and all you had were the legs, you wouldn't have a stool. So they go together. They work together. Okay, this is a D in here. These are all, oops, that looks like a P, but this is actually a D for details. They always support that main idea. Now, here's something I really want you to, oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm only drinking lemonade, I promise. I don't even have a Diet Pepsi, my favorite, with me. Okay, so anyway, the main idea and details, they have to match. Okay, so the more specific that you are with your main idea, the more specific your details have to be. Okay, which is why I always try to teach kids, like, try to do more of an overall main idea. It makes it a lot easier for everybody because when you're finding details that match that main idea, you don't have to be super specific. And a lot of times, if you make it overly specific, you can't find details that support that, right? So you actually need to be looking for a main idea that's an overall thing. That does not mean, look at me. That does not mean that you get to pick out one word and say that's the main idea. No, okay? No, that's not true. You need to come up with a sentence about what the story is talking about, okay? And then details to support that sentence. But it doesn't have to be very specific. That's what I want you to know, because those details have to fit in. Okay, it's kind of like if you would ever put together a stool and they gave you a seat that has circles to connect into the legs, but your legs are triangles. Are you going to be able to connect that in there? No, you're not. You have a circle and a triangle, and you're not going to be able to connect it, right? So they have to be the same. Circle and circle. You have to have the main idea and details support one another, okay? Hopefully that made sense to you. Of course, I can't see you to see if you are raising your hand or if you have any questions, but that's besides the point. Okay, we're going to go actually onto this article that I found, and I'm really, really excited about it because I was searching through some articles and I found this one, and I am like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, burger bugs. Ugh. Okay, Would anyone eat a bug? Anybody eat an insect? I don't know if I would. I don't know. I love to cook and I love to, be crafty with my food and make new recipes and stuff, but I just don't know if I could eat bugs. Okay, here we go. Maybe this article will convince me. We're going to read it. I'm going to read it to you. Follow along with me. And then what we're going to do is I'll go back into our notes and we'll keep writing. We'll write about burger bugs. Why some experts think people should eat insects. Would you eat that? Gosh, this stuff was off of there. I probably would. Okay. Would you eat a cricket? Brent Evans would. He's a fifth grader in Hampshire County, West Virginia. He recently decided to try eating insects. I wonder what happened. Did you think he just woke up one day and goes, I'm thinking about eating that cricket? Yeah, or maybe he read an article like this. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Americans usually don't think of insects as food, but more than 2 billion people around the world do. In Thailand, locals snack on crispy fried locusts. Brazilians eat chocolate covered ants. I don't know. Could I eat something, a chocolate covered ant? Well, it has chocolate. South Africans sprinkle crickets over oatmeal for an extra crunch. Some experts think more Americans should add insects to their diets. That's partly because bugs can be good for you. Many are low in fat and high in protein. They often contain important nutrients like iron and calcium. Eating insects can also help the planet. According to the United Nations, farming insects causes little pollution. Insects need less food than bigger animals. That means raising them takes less land and water than farming meat. As Earth's population grows, insects could be a good way to feed everyone. Even though it seems strange now, we could all be eating insects in a few years. I'm going to read that again. Even though it seems strange now, we could all be eating insects in a few years, says Wendy Lou McGill. She farms insects in Denver, Colorado. That's in the United States. For bug-based meals to catch on, people need to think they taste good. Yeah, they would have to taste good. Chefs are experimenting with new recipes. One chef put grasshoppers in spaghetti sauce. Mm. An ice cream shop in Portland, Oregon recently served mealworm ice cream. Okay, guys, I'm getting nervous. The first insect that Brent ate was a cricket. He thought it was tasty. Since then, he's tried toasted ants and cricket brownies. Eating bugs has started to feel normal to him, but the rest of Brent's family isn't there yet. I tried to get my mom to eat a cricket, but she won't, he says. Phew. Oh, we should probably talk about this. Not all insects are safe to eat, and some could make you sick. If you decide to try eating bugs, stick to those prepared by professionals. Okay, good. So I don't know about this. Oh, look at this woman eating a fried tarantula. This caption says scientists in Germany research ways to improve taste of edible insects. If you want to come back and watch this video, it's actually, I watched it, that's why I had to hit restart, but it's actually very interesting. Um, people people eat like worms and it's all interesting, very interesting stuff. Scorpions. I'm just not quite sure I'm there. It kind of reminds me of Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King, and they eat grub and all that stuff like Akuna Matata. Here we go. But okay, so getting back to, I kind of get off topic there. Sorry. So getting back to what this article is mostly about. Okay, so we need to put at the top of our. We need to put in here. We need to put burger bugs. because that's the name of the article, and if I'm writing, so are you. Okay, and we're going to start with our main idea. And I'm going to put MI. What does it stand for? Oh, wait, main idea. Okay. So what is this mostly about? And remember what I said, if whatever we say is our main idea, we have to find things that support that. That's why we need to be very careful with our wording. Words are very important. And what I want you guys all to know is that it does matter if you mess up with a couple of words because it changes the meaning of what you're writing. There's a difference of me saying that people should eat lots of insects, and there's a difference in me saying people should not eat lots of insects. I just messed up on one word, right? I just put it in there, or if I said shouldn't or should, but there's a difference. The meaning changes. Okay, so I want you to be careful of how you word things. Okay, so what is this mainly about? Okay, that's what we need to ask ourselves first. Excuse me, I don't know why my throat's really dry today. Anyway, um, what is this mainly about? It's mainly about eating bugs. And is this article telling us, is it good for us or bad for us? They're kind of in support of it, right? I'm not sure I'm on board yet, but I don't know, maybe these details will help. So, really, I'm thinking that they are trying to convince Americans, mainly Americans, because a lot of other people eat insects, but they're trying to convince us that insects are good for us and that we should be eating more of them. So, I'm going to say, that people are beginning to not even beginning. I guess beginning is the wrong word because that's what I'm saying. It changes the meaning. They're not beginning to eat them because they've already been doing it. So people are eating insects. Maybe let's say more. People are eating more and more insects. Oh, here's a better way to say it. People are incorporating insects in their diets. Okay, so that's our main idea. We have to find details that support why they are incorporating insects into their diets, right? All right, so we need some details. Okay, what did that article say? Let's go back. Should we talk about specifically about that boy who just tried a cricket? I mean, he's great and all, but I don't think we necessarily need to talk about him specifically, okay? But we can say that more than 2 billion people around the world think of insects as food. Okay, so that does support what we're talking about. So let's go back here. And we're going to say 2 billion. Remember, I am not writing it word for word because guess what? That's called plagiarism and that is illegal. Okay, 2 billion people. I'm going to say eat insects. I'm going to say regularly. Okay. So there's a detail number 1. Okay. Let's do another detail. See, oh man, I hate when I do that. Scroll back in a little bit and get back down to where I was. Okay, now if I go here, there we go. Let's do another detail. Why are people eating these bugs? Okay. And if I look here, I'm looking at why people have added insects to their diets. Look at this. Bugs can be good for you. Okay. Many are low in fat and high in protein. Right there is something I'm going to put. So low in fat, high in protein. All right. What's another detail? And I think it had something else right there too. They often contain important nutrients like iron and calcium. So I'm going to put insects have iron and calcium, which is something that you need to help you grow big and strong. I'm sure your parents have said that to you before. All right, let's pick something else. This is easy. Ah, did it again. What is going on right now? Ah, it's gonna move my stuff. What is happening? Oh my goodness. Why can't Okay. All right. I'm done with that. That's enough. Let's get started for real. Oh my goodness. Okay. Another detail. ah, most of the time this is where I'd stop and start over, but I'm not going to. You're just gonna have to deal with my mess ups. All right, so let's see here. This says eating insects can also help the planet. Oh, that would probably be something that we'd want to include. Farming insects causes little pollution. So that means like raising those insects, like just like they do like cows and chickens and things like that. Um, they would have to raise them from babies before they would be ready for us to eat. So they would be farming them, and while they're raising them, insects obviously need less food than bigger animals, probably not as much space. So get less land and water than farming meat. Okay, so let's put that. Farming, or let's put raising, I guess. Insects equals less pollution. Pollution. Did I spell that right? Oh, two L's. Rats. I knew it looked wrong. There we go. Okay. So we could say these are some of the reasons why. Oh, this is bad. I cannot keep trying to do that. People are incorporating insects into their diets. So we supported it with 2 billion people out there eat insects regularly. They are low in fat, high in protein. They have iron and calcium, and they cause less pollution when you raise them. The other thing I saw on there that we could talk about is right here. As Earth's population grows, insects could be a good way to feed everyone. So we could incorporate that into our details as well. Okay, so what you need to remember as far as main idea and details go, main idea, overall topic, what are they mostly talking about? In our case, we were talking about eating insects. Details support whatever it's talking about. Okay, if you say if this article was about not eating insects, right, then all of our details were how insects should be bad for us, right? But this one was why we should eat insects. So we were talking about people eating more insects. So definitely we were supporting all of this with good details that support that. Okay. All right. Take a little break and then we'll get back to our next part of our lesson. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. We are back to our oh, we're not talking about insects anymore, so I'm pretty glad about that. Actually, I think it's pretty cool. I'm actually very curious as to which one of you are like totally into it and would definitely eat a bug, and who are like, what? That's the grossest thing I've ever heard. Don't make me eat a bug. So um, my kids definitely let me know. I want to know from you. Are you an insect eater or no? But everyone else, if you want to tell me, I am more than happy to hear what you have to say. But I think it would be an interesting conversation. I know, I've got a great idea. Share it with your family. See if they would eat insects. See if they're on board with it, and you can tell them all the details as to why we should be eating more insects. It'd make great dinner conversation. All right, so we are going to move on to Latin and Greek prefixes. Latin and Greek prefixes. All right. And there are three that we're going to go over. But before we do that, we need a refresher on what is a prefix. And if I were with you, you would have to tell me. All right. So a prefix is a letter or a group of letters that go at the beginning of a word and it changes its meaning. Okay? And I'm going to call those letters or a group of letters a word part. Added to the beginning a word. And yes, I want that all underlined and capitalized. And changes its meaning. For example, I know that we've done this one before, so I want to make sure, like, here's a good example, okay? If I would say, unhappy, right? Unhappy, okay? If I am unhappy about something, here it is, unhappy, right? The prefix is un, okay? And the root word or the base word or the main word, they call it all kinds of different things just to confuse us, I think. But any one of those words, it's happy, okay? When you break everything else off, what are you left with? That is your root word or your base word or your main word, okay? So happy is our root word. Un is our prefix. It's stuck to the front of it. And we say unhappy altogether. Now, what does unhappy mean? It means you're not happy. So the prefix un means not, okay? So you're not happy. It changes the meaning of the word. The meaning of the word happy, yay, right? I'm happy. It's a feeling. It's how you feel, and it's positive. It's good. But unhappy, the prefix un makes it not. I'm unhappy, which means I'm not happy at all, okay? So happy and unhappy are actually antonyms. All right, moving on, we are going to talk about a couple different prefixes that I want you to be aware of. Okay, keep these in the back of your head. We have one is non, no N, and I'm going to put the dash afterwards. That means that a word is coming after that. If I would put the dash in the front, that means the word is before. So the prefix, I'm sorry, if I did the suffix meant, okay, so I would do, all right, you don't have to write that, but the word came before, okay, so let me erase that so nobody gets confused. Non, we're talking about non, okay, and non means the same thing as un, actually, not. Okay. So let's do an example. Non-stop. So I'm going to just kind of, excuse me, my root word base word is stop in here, which means that my prefix is non. If something is non-stop, it's not stopping, right? I'm sure that your parents have said, you are talking non-stop today, right? So you're talking so much, you're not stopping. All right, let's do the next prefix. The next one, pretty cool, is pre. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so pre means before, which makes total sense. Prefix happens before or the beginning of the word. Pre then means before. So an example for that, I'm going to say pre-plan. Okay, what is my root word? Plan, right? And then my prefix is pre. Okay, so pre-plan something, you're going to plan it before it happens, right? I'm going to pre-plan the surprise birthday party for my mom. Okay, let's do the next one. Hyper. Now, remember when I said word part or a letter, a group of letters? Hyper is actually a word, right? Sometimes it can be a word. Yes, that is true. All right, so I don't want you to get too excited about how it can only be like a letter or two letters or three letters or four. It can be a word that's already there. Okay, hyper. Well, let's talk about that. What does it mean when you're hyper? You're excessively doing something, right? Excessively moving most of the time. So hyper is excessively. Let's see, what example can I think of for hyper? Hyperactive. Hyperactive. Okay. So what is my root word, base word, main word? Active, right? And what is my prefix? Hyper. Okay, you're excessively active. Okay, excessively active. Last one we're going to do for today, and that is bio. Bio means life. Okay. Hmm. Think of something that we could use. Let's see. You know what I'm going to use? A biodome. Dome would be my root word. My base would be bio. Okay, so it is a dome full of life. Okay, so think of like greenhouses or things like that, or even like where they keep butterflies, things like that. Sometimes they're in the shape of a dome, and it's where you would keep plants, things like that. I would say. Okay. Now, we've got one more thing to talk about, and then you are officially done with this lesson. Woohoo! Okay, even though it's your favorite part. And what I've noticed is that some of the views on the lessons are like kind of plummeting. But tell your friends how fun I am and how much you laugh and how you really think they should learn about eating bugs and tune in because uh, it's just important. So here we go. All right, last thing, our genre. We are actually talking about narrative nonfiction this time. Okay, narrative nonfiction gives us hints about what it is. First bullet point we want to put, is it fiction or nonfiction? It tells you in the title of what it is. It's nonfiction, people. So that means it's real. It's giving us facts and information. It's about true things, right? The other part I want you to look at is the narrative part of this, okay? The narrative part. Narrative means a story, all right? So if something is a narrative, it's a story. So narrative nonfiction, it's nonfiction, but it's told in a story format, okay? So we're going to put tells a story. Which means that it also includes multiple different things. Text features, it still includes text features because it's nonfiction, but it also will most of the time include characters and a setting, right? Characters, setting. And I'm going to add one more and try not to move my page, but if you can put it underneath, that would be great. Ah! Text features. Right? Okay. So, narrative nonfiction, it's about real things but told in a story format. You know, one of my favorite examples is I Survived. That I Survived series is about something that really happened, right? It gives you information about that, but those characters and that is also it's a story, okay? So they make up the story part of it, but it's about real information. All right. Hey guys, if you have any questions, we are more than happy to be helpful and helping you, all that stuff. We are here for you every day. Just know that, okay? We love you and we miss you so much. We can't wait till we can be together again. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but you guys are resilient and strong and world changers, and you've got it. No matter what, this is all going to be okay. So we love you. We miss you. We love you. We miss you. I'm going to keep saying it until I'm leaving. We love you. We miss you. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye. Look, it's not working. Oh, there it goes. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.